Hey everybody, George here from GJJ Games. It's you're looking at a red screen, but I am just going to show off some things that I just got shipped from the Game Crafter today. So I placed a big order so that I could get a few copies of a few of my games, a couple of updates, a couple of components that I'm testing with. I just wanted to show off everything that I got because I'm kind of excited. It was a big box. So first, I'll just show you a couple little things that I got. So I'm working on a racing game, so I got a couple of little race cars. So two different style race cards. I want to see how they fit on the board that I'm building. They're about the same size, one a little bit longer, but that'll help me build out the spaces on the board so I know just how big to make them. So I got lots of different colors, just so I have them. So those are pretty neat. They're nice, good detail on them, nice plastic pieces. So look for a racing game coming with those that use those. It'll be part of my Polyhedral series, which I will get to in a little bit. I've got copies of the first 3 games. So I also got updated event cards for Rolling Seas, the current events expansion that I'm working on. So this will not be available on the Game Crafter, but hopefully will be available when the game hits Kickstarter and is published through Nuts Publishing. So I've been testing it out, and it's got some updates on these cards. Nothing major, just some clarifications, some indications of which ones work best for solo play. But I figured since I was placing an order, I might as well get some updated cards. So those are just kind of the random components, updates that I got. Now I want to show off 3 games that I got. Polyhedral Potions. Polyhedral Perils. And Polyhedral Predicaments Dungeon Demise. So these are 3 games in a series of games that I am working on. I am calling it the Polyhedral Series. They are a series of smaller games that you provide a set of polyhedral dice, and then the rest of the components for the game are included. They're smaller games. Polyhedral Potions is the first in the series, so it's number 1. So I will show you what is included with this. So we've got the box, and inside the box, so we got an explanation of what the Polyhedral series is, some advertisements for a couple of my other games that are available. And there's Rolling Seas. And inside the box, I already took stuff out of bags. These all come in separate baggies, but we've got 5 dry erase pens. We've got a rule book, which printed out pretty nice. Looks pretty good. And then these sheets. These are all dry erase. They're UV coated, so they should be dry erase compatible. 2 different sides on these. This was at Protospiel Chicago, and it only had one side at Protospiel Chicago, and I've made some updates to some of the scoring and stuff from there. But it went over pretty well at Protospiel Chicago, and so now it is going to be available on the Game Crafter. So you got 2 different sides, so you can mix up the game. The game plays 1 to 5 players, so we've got 5 dry erase markers and 5 sheets, plus the ingredient shelf. This is where you put the dice as you are playing the game and drafting from here. And we've got a reference for one side of the cards and a reference for the other side. Basically, they're identical. It's just the order that the different bonus abilities is different so that it matches the order that you get them here on the 2 different sides of the score sheets. So that is Polyhedral Potions. It's a game about drafting ingredients from your, those are the 7 polyhedral dice, and you use them to use the ingredients that you draft. So mark them over here to create either potions or poisons, and then use those potions or poisons to create distillations or fulminates and score points. So there will be more information about that coming along. So let's close that up. It's always fun to get the first copy of a game in the box and with nice printed components, so not stuff off of my home printer or the print shop down the street and then laminated and stuff. So this will be nice to play on these. Next is Polyhedral Perils, and this I may actually make two different versions of the game, so that I can see which one I like better, which way I like it better. Let's get this out of here. So this is a game that only requires a set of dice and the rules. It uses a set of polyhedral dice. So this is using the mint tin folded mat. I wanted these, since it's basically just the rules, I wanted them to be as small as possible. So the mint tin folded mat, and there's a solo rules on this side. And this is Polyhedral Series number 2. But once you learn the rules, you don't need to bring the rules with. But it's a nicely printed out rule book. However, it is also going to come with an expansion. So the idea behind Polyhedral Perils is that you are trying to escape a dungeon. So it can be played multiplayer or solo player. If you're playing multiplayer, you are going into the dungeon, battling monsters, and then when you quit, you come out and brag about your tale and score points. If you play the solo, you are stuck in the dungeon at the bottom of it, trying to battle your way out and escape and survive before you do, or while you do. It also comes with an expansion called Polyhedral Perils, The Champion's Journey, and this is a solo game, one-player game, and it comes, there's the rules for it, and this is a quest, more like a campaign game. So you play through different locations along the map, choosing different directions, encountering different monsters. You can encounter travelers and get bonuses. Depending on the paths that you take, you have different challenges until you get to Mini Skull Castle and defeat the evil Demgop, who runs Mini Skull Castle, and he's terrorizing the countryside with his minions. And so you have to battle through and defeat him there. So that is the Champion's Journey. The whole campaign takes 45 minutes or so. It's a solo campaign. But anyway, the reason I printed this double, so I originally designed it for the square quad fold folio. That's where the rules are. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with my artwork. The Dice Dragon and the Dice Hero, I created those on my own. So, but then I started doing the map and laying out the map, and I realized that it would probably be nice to use dry erase markers to be able to mark your different bonuses that you've earned. But the folios don't support UV coating. So I decided to try it on the mint tin folio, or mint tin folded mat, which I don't really like the cutouts here, the curved corners, but with the dry erase UV coating, I think it might be more useful. So I'm going to try out both games and both versions and see which I like better. And then when I make it for sale, only one of these versions will be up on the site. I'm leaning towards the mint tin mats because even though I don't really like the rounded corners, I think having it be dry erase compatible is going to win out in the end. It also, they feel nice, the thick cardstock, as opposed to the flimsy paper. But that is Polyhedral Perils, number 2 in the Polyhedral series. And next up we have Polyhedral Predicaments, Dungeon Demise. This is the first, or the third in the Polyhedral series, but the first in the Polyhedral Predicaments subset of games. So I am hoping to have a number of these games as well. This is going to be 18 cards and come in the hook boxes. So a couple of things that I noticed that I'm going to have to fix. These flip the wrong way. So they flip this way, and I expected them to flip this way. So I'm going to, that's an easy fix, just flip that over. And then also with the back of this, I got these upside down, so those will flip over. But Polyhedral Predicaments Dungeon Demise is, it has similar mechanics to Polyhedral Perils, but in it you are going through a dungeon, building up your dungeon, traveling different routes, and battling monsters until you get to a boss monster. So there are 4 levels to the dungeon, so you'll pick a card from level 1, and then if you succeed there, from level 2, and then level 3, and level 4, until you get to the dungeon boss. And then hopefully you have racked up enough supplies to defeat the dungeon boss, and collected enough gems and coins to score lots of points. So that is Dungeon Demise. So it's everything printed out very nicely. So those are my 3 Polyhedral games that I have. They will be available on the Game Crafter for sale shortly. I guess technically you can buy them right now if you go directly to the page for them. But they'll be officially published as soon as I make some small updates. So those are my Polyhedral games. And then comes the big one that I got. So this was my entry into the Gateway Games contest, and didn't quite make the finals, but it was in a 3-way tie for 4th place, but because of the community votes, it didn't make it into the top 4. It got placed below that. So real close on this one. I was excited about it. I think it's a great Gateway game. The one thing that held it back was the components. It uses tiles, domino tiles, lots of them, to spread out across the table. But one of the things that the contest was looking for was a novel, unique use of components, and domino tiles are kind of plain, which I figured that was going to be the one thing that held it back, and it looks like it was. So, but inside we have a whole bunch of feature cubes. We've got pink for flowers, blue for water, brown for wildlife, and white for viewpoints. And a nice burlap bag. So we can go ahead and put these all into the burlap bag, because that's where they will live. And there, it's big enough to draw from easily. We got the rule book. Yep. So the rule book came out nice. Okay. Got some play testers there. Credits. Inside the box, we have all of our destination tiles. Okay. Punch out very nicely. So these are the destination tiles for where you can reach. going to have to wipe off some of the soot. And then outside the box, we have all our trail tiles. They should all fit in the box once they are all punched. But before they're punched, they don't quite fit. So we've got our trail objective tiles. I'm not going to punch all of these while I'm videoing, but here we have our trail head tiles. This is where you start your trail from. And then we have a whole bunch of actual trail tiles. So these came out very nice. So some of them have nice large map icons on the back. And so these you will use to build your trails as they spread across the table and add features to them. And once you get a certain number of features, you can meet the requirements for destinations. You can add the destinations to the trail to score your points. So we got lots of them, lots of trail tiles and stuff. So we got all of that, lots of stuff that needs to be punched there. But this is just the first part of Go Make a Hike that I got delivered. So I also kind of splurged and got a playmat. So nice neoprene playmat will help you with laying out tiles for the game. You have your destinations up here and your deck. And then these two spots up there are not for the base game. Those are for the off the beaten path expansion that I have for the game. So we got a rule book for that. This is actually a folio. So the off the beaten path expansion comes with 3 modules. Comes with the Fire and Ice module, which gives you some additional destinations. That's it. They have some different scoring abilities. It's also got Points of Interest, which adds these yellow cubes to the features and gives you several different ways to score when you draft a point of interest and add them to your map. And then it also has, this is another one that's flipping the wrong way. Flips this way where I expect it to flip that way, but I can fix that easily. Then it also contains the Ordeals to Adventures, basically event tiles that come up. So those will get shuffled into the trail deck, and then different events come up. Immediate events that happen immediately, and persistent events that affect the rest of the game. So let's just take a look at some of these. Lots and lots of tiles. I'm going to be punching a lot and wiping off a lot of soot. See, it's already making my hands dark. So these are, we got some of our new locations and some of our points of interest on those. And then these are our events. And those have the same backs as the trail tiles. Okay. And that's everything that I got from the Game Crafter. So I am excited to punch out all these tiles and get them in the box and get the game to the table using the playmat and the actual printed tiles. I am hoping to be able to Go Make a Hike on a crowd sale at some point, because right now with all the printed tiles, it's fairly expensive. I think it's around $75 or $80 if I recall. But with a crowd sale, we could get the price down to around $45. So that's what I'm hoping for, to run a crowd sale for this, because I think it's an excellent game. it's not an $80 game. It's a gateway level game and stuff, but $45 I think would be reasonable. So hopefully I will be running a crowd sale for this sometime late spring, early summer. Also possibly a crowd sale for some of my Polyhedral games. This one right now will be available on the Game Crafter. It'll be only $20, so that will be good. And then Dungeon Demise and Polyhedral Perils should only be a few dollars. I think 10 or 12 for Dungeon Demise. I think 10 I was trying to keep it at. And then the Polyhedral Perils I think is only going to be $3 or $4, since basically you're going to get only this with the game. And then I do have sets of Polyhedral dice that you can purchase on the Game Crafter, but they're not the nicest dice, which is why I decided not to include them in the base game. You can get them on the Game Crafter if you want, or stop off at your local game store or hit Amazon or wherever, and you can get a really nice set of Polyhedral dice for under $10, and you'll be able to use them in all my games. So anyway, thanks for watching. Again, George from GJJ Games. You can follow me on the Game Crafter or at georgejarris.com/GJJGames. And then you can check out some of my games. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.